Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with this week's 3D printed focused video. Like I said previously, 2023, I hope to include at least one 3D printed video a week here on the channel, as I believe 3D printing is going to continue to grow for the foreseeable future, and I want to get in at the ground and get some cool videos and content for you guys. This video today is sponsored by Archvillain Games, and the miniature that I will be painting in today's video is from them. It is a monstrous cannibal ogre called the Jailer. So I'm very looking forward to getting that miniature painted. Before we get into the video, I just want to say if you guys are enjoying my content and enjoying my videos, a few things you can do to support me is 1, make sure you like the video. 2, make sure that you're subscribed. The analytics show me that about 60% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel, so it would mean the world to me if you took 2 seconds out of your day and hit that subscribe button. And 3, I have links to a Patreon below, which is getting a bunch of extra cool rewards this year. Like every single week, my Patreons get an extra video. So that's 52 videos extra this year if you're a member of my Patreon. So it's never been a better time to get involved. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the video. As I stated in the beginning of this video, we are sponsored by Archvillain Games, and the model that we will be painting up today is from their new science fiction range of miniatures out this month, the Sept of Gakval, which is a beautiful kind of cannibalistic, rotten ogre style range of miniatures that I absolutely love. As a huge supporter and fan of Nurgle for many years, these are right up my alley. This is of course the 3rd science fiction range of miniatures these guys have brought out, including the Norgrim clan, which were their dwarf inspired miniatures, and the Reckoning, some crazy chaos demon style. Archvillain Games is also releasing a set of rules called Battle Room. It is now in alpha and it's available to download and playtest, and they are looking for feedback from the community. I thoroughly recommend that you go down and click the links below and check out Archvillain Games' new sci-fi line, as it is absolutely fantastic. You will not be disappointed. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So this is the miniature that I decided to paint up for today. It is one of the Sept of Gakval Jailer miniatures. It is a cannibal ogre, and as you can see, it is huge, it is grotesque, it's awesome. I'm going to be focusing on Duncan Rhodes' line of paints again for this miniature, because I actually quite enjoy painting up the model I did for Gamak with the Duncan Rhodes paints. So I thought I might use the opportunity I have with all of the different 3D printed companies to test out and try different lines of paints and stick with Games Workshop paints for Games Workshop models. I think that's the best way to do it. So we started with the dark green, and now we're moving up to emerald green for the first highlight on the skin. I'm going to be once again following the triad style of painting for this miniature because it worked out so well last time. And it's just a simple way of painting miniatures. It's a base, mid-tone, and a highlight color. They've set out those colors already. So you don't really have to think, you just get to kind of click and paint. I'm trying to avoid using shades to basically practice painting myself and basically improve my painting. So we jumped up to emerald green. Emerald green in the triad seems to be, or the last paint in the triad always seems to be the one with the most punch. The kind of first color to the second color doesn't seem to have a huge impact. Obviously it is setting the base coats and it is, giving you the idea of shades going forward, but it always seems to be that last paint in the triad where even when I start applying, I'm like, oh, this is a big jump. I don't know whether this works. I don't know how comfortable I am with this. But because someone else has designed it, I'm going to follow through and see how it works out. For some reason, it always seems to work. And I'm left with this horrid green skin tone, which I absolutely love. Now I'm kind of thinking of more of as a cannibalistic, like horrible orc / Nurgle miniature, which is a cool thought. Nurgle orcs are of course in the lore, so you never know what could happen. This could be a long lost war boss. After that, we're going to go up into the kind of pinks and purples and work on all of his kind of gums and all of the tentacles and all of the sores built into the skin. So we're going to start with Royal Cloak, which is of course that base tone we were talking about, and paint it in. I decided to do the mouth in the center of his big gut plate as an actual mouth.
Whether it's supposed to be or not, I don't know. It could be just a big horrific design, but I think it's recessed enough to think that it is actually turned into a horrid actual mouth. So I'm going to go with it. I think it adds a really nice touch to the miniature and looks pretty sick. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I do thoroughly believe that 3D printing will become a huge part of basically the miniature hobby moving forward. And it's something that I definitely want to capitalize on. As a huge proprietor of 3D printing already, I love it. I've got, I think I'm on my 4th 3D printer now. I definitely don't want to miss the boat. I definitely want to have my community enjoy 3D printing content. That's basically what I need from you guys. If I really want to know what you guys think and feel of 3D printing in the comments below. I want to know what kind of content you would like me to do on the channel. If you want me to do tutorial videos, or do you want me to just review the different kind of brands that are out there that are making 3D printed bundles every month, pick models from them, paint them up, show you guys what I think, and just basically keep growing that level of content on my channel. I know I've been focusing on 40k a lot for 2022, but obviously I want to branch out in 2023 and kind of stretch my legs a little bit and try a few different things. Obviously there'll be a lot more Age of Sigmar content on the channel, there'll be some Lord of the Rings content on the channel, and of course lots of 3D printing content. So like I said, I would really like to know what you guys think of that, and it will of course help me decide what kind of videos to make. So we're on the highlight color of this kind of pinky tones. We're going with For All the Tentacles. Like I said, this pink is always the kind of largest jump, and I think the scary thing about it is always it's so much brighter when it's wet. So when you first apply it, it does give you that kind of shock value. You're like, oh my god, this isn't going to work at all. Once it dries and tones down and blends with the previous color a little bit, it definitely looks awesome. Like even when I'm applying this, you can see that it's this like baby pink color, and I get a little bit nervous with it. But I followed through, and I was quite happy with the results. The next thing I tackle is his teeth and claws and horns are all gonna go with the same triads. I'm gonna start with the dragon fang. I have never painted a miniature with more of these things than this miniature. I did try and count them to make a point to a friend of mine, and I think I got to around the 217 mark when it comes to how many horns, teeth, and claws there are on this medal. So 3 stages of painting on 217 things was insane. It did take a little bit of time. At one stage I was debating whether or not I was going to do it on the back of the model. You can see the tentacles with all the horns. I am so happy that I did follow through and do it, because I think the result is awesome, and it's definitely one of the, I don't know, the special features of this miniature. I mean, this guy is a jailer. Could you imagine going to kind of crazy cannibalistic space jail, and this is the dude that's walking up and down the cell block looking for the next guy to put on the rack to torture and eat, and oh jeez, no thank you. I think if I lived in a universe that had these guys as the prison wardens, I don't think I would break the rules that often. I think definitely put my chewing gum in the bin, wouldn't jaywalk, pay my parking tickets on time, you know, that kind of, like, yeah, let's not mess around. Obviously, I will not be painting up the entire model on, well, you'll see the entire model painted, but I'm not going to show you every step on every part, as the model is just so detailed. Archvillain Games has also basically put the idea out there that there's a potential of me doing a video on the rules for their game. So that's the battle room, which would require me to 3D print 2 forces and actually play a game on the channel, like a battle report showcasing the rules and a larger selection of models from their monthly releases. This is something that I'm excited for, and I'd love to hear if you guys are also excited for that as well. I'd love the idea of showcasing some new game systems on the market, and really just going for it. Here's me using Duncan Rhodes shade. This is the only time in painting the miniature that I used the shade. I used the sepia and applied it all over the metallics. While that was done, I kind of dry brushed up the base a little bit, that out of the way. And then I'm going to highlight all of that metallics and go for the plate armor, which is the second tone of the triad. I'm actually not going to jump to the highest one, because that I think would be too bright. That would be like this gleaming plate armor, which I don't think a jailer, cannibal ogre jailer, is going to have gleaming armor. It's going to be all gunked up and dirty and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go for some scratchy highlights with the plate mail armor, which I think gives it a nice result. And then a few last touches. Obviously, I painted the horrible body on the ground covered in blood. The sword's got another coat. I painted his loincloth in the thing. And with that really brings the painting of the jailer to a close. I just started going around with the blood effect from the Duncan Rhodes range, feeding that into the skulls in his mouth, and I gave a coat over the blood on the ground and had this like leaking out of all the sores on the body. This is a really sweet model. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of like Nurgle models, so if I do end up deciding to do the game based around their rule set, I think I'll personally be continuing to 3D print the rest of the Sept of Gakval, which is these guys, and that will be the force that I would love to use on the tabletop, and then have someone else grab another band and then play through a game. Like I said, guys, let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to see and what faction you would like to see play against these brutes.
Okay guys, and there we have it. The jailer is painted. You'll notice that I focused on Duncan Rhodes' line of paints for this video, as I'm enjoying using them quite a lot. And I think I managed to pull off quite a nice result. Remember, if you did enjoy the video, check all the links below. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and all that madness. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.